Welcome to Elementary Algebra, MAT020. This video serves as a basic introduction to the course. We will be using a textbook called Beginning and Intermediate Algebra. There is no need for you to purchase the text. It is available online when you use MyLabs Plus. A video introducing MyLabs Plus follows this video. Please make sure that you attend class regularly. Please try not to come late, and please try not to leave early. If you are absent for 2 consecutive weeks, you will receive a UE grade, which means an unofficial withdrawal. If you need to be absent, please let your instructor know as soon as possible. When you come to class, please be prepared with paper, pencil, and a notebook. You will also need headphones if you plan on watching a video, maybe sometimes at the end of class or in the math lab. You will also need a 4-function calculator, which means it only can perform addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. In class, you can expect your instructor to show material by either lecturing or showing examples. You will have time in class to practice the topics, and when you're finished with class, you'll be expected to complete homework. All homework is on MyLabs Plus. Again, that's an online way for you to access homework and quizzes and tests. When you complete your homework, you need to receive at least a 60% in order to advance to the next assignment. When you're finished with a chapter, you will need at least a 75% on all of those homework assignments in order to get into the quiz that follows. There are video lectures for every topic that you see in class. The video topics, you do not have to watch them, but they are strongly encouraged. They are very, very helpful. So you do not need to do them, but they are encouraged. When you have completed a chapter, you are expected to take a quiz. You have 1 attempt for every quiz. You must take the quiz on MyLabs Plus, and you'll have a pacing guide that tells you when the quizzes are due. The quizzes must be taken in class or in our math testing center, which is in room 312. They are password protected, which means you may not take a quiz at home or in the library or anywhere else. They must be taken either in class or in our testing center. Homework, on the other hand, can be done anywhere, but a quiz, because it's graded, does have to be taken in one of these 2 places, and like I said, is password protected. If you do not take the quiz by the due date, you will receive a 0 for the quiz. At the end of a unit, after you've completed all your homework and you've taken your quiz, there will be a test. Minimum score for passing is a 75%. There are 3 attempts to take a test. Your first attempt will be in class, and it will be paper and pencil. If you do not pass that test with a 75% or higher, you will be asked to complete a study plan, which is extra practice on MyLabs Plus. You only need to complete the study plan if you intend to take the exam a second time. Once you're ready for your second attempt, you will take that on MyLabs Plus. That is online. You will take that either in our testing center, maybe in class, but most likely in the testing center. The highest grade you can get on a second attempt is an 83%. Again, this is taken in the testing center, so it's password protected. You cannot take a test anywhere other than in the lab, in this testing center. If you do not pass the test a second time, you will have 1 last chance to pass, but that is on the final exam. And that is explained in just a second. Okay. So if you need to take the final exam, it is only for students who did not pass any exam in 2 attempts. So if you've passed every exam in the first or second try, you do not need to take the final exam. If you do need that 3rd attempt on any exam, you will sit for the final. The final exam is comprised of topics, and if you can pass the topic that you failed on your original test, you can replace that failed test grade with a 75%. You have to complete the entire final, though. Even on chapters that you've already passed, you'll take the entire final. and then that entire final exam grade will be used as an additional test grade. But any test that you failed, if you've passed that portion of the final exam, that failing test grade will be replaced with a 75. If you have an official accommodation, all quizzes and tests must be taken in a special testing center upstairs in room 406. This is different than the math testing center. Again, this is only for students who have official accommodations. When you are ready to complete your homework, or you're ready to take a quiz or a second attempt at a test, you'll be working on MyLabs Plus, which I've mentioned earlier. It's best if you use Chrome or Firefox, and I will be showing how to use MyLabs Plus in a video coming up. And I will explain how to, type in your username and your password. But please make sure, if you've never used MyLabs Plus before, your username is your Dell Tech username. It's the same one. And your password will be Math Student if you have never used the system before. If you have, you'll use the same password you've already established. In general, you want to make use of our Math Success Center. It's room 310, and it's where you want to go for extra help or if you want to complete your homework. It is an excellent resource. It's free. You just need to bring your ID, headphones if you want to listen to a video, and your work. But it's a very, very good resource with lots of tutors and instructors working all the time. The hours are listed below. If you're ready for a quiz or you need to take a second attempt on a test, you'll use room 312, which is the Math Testing Center. Again, you do not take any type of assessment in the MSC, the Math Success Center. That's only for help and homework. Okay, I've listed below the grading policy for our course. Notice that 80% of your grade is derived from tests, 10% from quizzes, and 10% from homework. This is the college's grading policy. And in general, some basic rules. No cell phones are allowed when you are taking any form of assessment. If you have your cell phone out, you will be asked to put it away. You may not use any notes when taking an assessment. You are only allowed to use a 4-function calculator. You should also make sure you look at the student handbook for all our policies for academic integrity. If you have any questions, please contact your instructor, and please make sure that you check your email regularly. The college won't be using Blackboard anymore. We'll be using D2L. Please make sure you don't fall behind. Your instructor will show you where the pacing guide is for the course. It's posted online, and hopefully you'll get a copy or you'll print a copy for yourself as well. But it will tell you when to complete your homework assignments, and it'll tell you when to complete every quiz and test. Please make sure you follow that very, very carefully. When you do your homework or when you take an assessment, please make sure your work is very neat. Neat handwriting really counts. Use lots of space. Make sure you number your work. The better your instructor can read your paper, the better you're going to do. When you take a quiz or a test, you also are going to make sure you work on colored paper. In MAT020, we use green paper. And make sure the heading is filled out completely so that it can be filed and your instructor can find your paper. Because remember, you're taking your quizzes and sometimes test in a testing center, which means that it has to be filed and left for your instructor. Make sure you know your instructor's name. Make sure you know your section number. Also make sure that you label your paper, with what quiz or test you're taking. So for example, make sure that you say this is test for Chapter 3 or quiz for Chapter 3. If you need extra help, please make sure that you know these phone numbers. Keep them in a handy spot. MLP, again, is MyLabs Plus. So if you're using your computer and it's not working correctly at home and you need help, you can call this 800 number. Tech support's very nice. Also, we have support here on campus. It's room 250, and you can use this phone number as well. And that's if you have, again, any issues logging on to the computer or anything not related to MyLabs Plus. Your first number here is only for MyLabs Plus questions. Good luck and have an excellent semester. Make sure you see your instructor for any additional questions.